which is really exciting. God bless you.
Very exciting.
I'll take my notes so that you don't get confused.
No, I don't want to read those.
No, well, no, don't do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Lovely to see you. Thank you for the opportunity to come and share about TLG and give you an update. As Phil has said, my name is Karyn, and I have a wonderful support act here this morning. I've got Kate and Leanne, and we are all part of the Transforming Lives for Good TLG Early Intervention Coaching Program. There you go. That was a big title, wasn't it? Some of you will be familiar with this outreach, and some of you will be hearing about it for the first time. So I'll recap. TLG stands for Transforming Lives for Good. It's a Christian charity that started some 25 plus years ago. The charity's story began with one individual case. Lewis, a boy from a difficult background who was struggling with anger and felt misunderstood in school. He was working out how to play the system to get kicked out of school by 9:30 every morning. Lewis had found his passion working outdoors at the local cricket ground as a groundsman, and it was through this connection and the consistent support of TLG staff that his life began to turn around. The success of this initial intervention demonstrated the power of providing one-to-one support and second chances, inspiring the movement that is now the charity TLG, Transforming Lives for Good. The full story is detailed in a book, Out of the Ordinary, the TLG Story. If you want to take that QR code, you can send for a free copy. I've got a few here. It is the complete story of TLG, written by Tim Morfin, who is the founder of the charity. In fact, Tim Morfin, OBE now, because of his services he has given to supporting children and young people. So how does partnering with TLG work? Have you got the next slide, please, Steve? Thank you. The charity partners with local churches throughout the UK. 220 plus churches are now involved and is passionate in reaching out to the most vulnerable children to bring hope and a future. There are thousands of children struggling to cope. Poverty, trauma, such as family breakdown, bereavement, going into the care system, bullying, lack of confidence, neurodiversity, absence of positive role models, or at risk of exclusion. These difficulties cast long shadows, and for too many, the future seems hopeless. Church communities are full of ordinary people ready to make an extraordinary difference. The charity's early intervention coaching program enables us as a church family to offer practical, loving, and dynamic therapeutic support to those children struggling in our community, providing much valued support to them, their families, and our local church and our local schools. Sorry, we are the local church. Sorry, guys. I know that. From bereavement to anxiety, bullying to family breakdown, no child shall have to struggle alone. Every child should be seen, heard, and valued. You're on it, Steve. You're on it. Thanks, Steve. So how does early intervention coaching program actually work for us? It's one coach, one child for 1 hour a week. Our trauma-aware trained coaches volunteer to spend 1 hour per week in one-to-one coaching sessions to help support those children and young people showing early signs of struggle or at risk of exclusion from school. The sessions are a safe place, and the coach child learns to build connection, plays or enjoys crafts, and explores their emotions, providing time to talk and to be listened to by a responsible adult one-to-one each week. There are some stats, actually, that you might want to read through. Through the early intervention program, churches, schools and families are seeing children and young people become more confident, enthusiastic and excited about school and the future. Research has found that relationship with one trusted adult during childhood can mitigate the impacts of ACEs, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, on mental and physical well-being. That's the background for what TLG is and how we work with them as a church. Leanne will be coming to share her experiences of coaching, but we'd like to show you a short video, first of all, entitled Karyn's Story.
At school, I just felt alone and I had no friends. Before TLG, I tried different ways to make friends. For example, if somebody told me to do the wrong thing, but I did it because I thought if I did it, they would like me. I was vulnerable at that time. I felt like I was in darkness.
Karyn is a whirlwind of fun. We would always say about Karyn that she had leadership qualities beyond her years, but she would find it very difficult to regulate her emotions, and she found friendships quite difficult to navigate.
I was sent to the head teacher's office multiple times, and I was really proud of that.
When I met Karyn, she was quite sad and lonely because she didn't have many friends. And when the other children had their birthday parties and things, she wasn't invited.
When I started coaching with Faye, I got overwhelmed with joy. And I told her everything that happened, and she used to start giving me words of advice that would help me. Faye was there for me. Talking to her made me reflect on my character. It taught me how to regulate myself around people. Because of that, I learned how to make friends and how to keep them and how to make sure our friends be secure. I started getting invited to parties, and it really made me happy because now I knew that our friendship was strong. Every session I did with Faye, it had a meaning to me. I felt like I was pinching every negative emotion down. And for cooking, I felt like I was just spreading my joy.
Do you remember when we were making the cookies? We were so busy talking, so we had to roll the pastry up together. You remember?
Yeah.
And I sprinkled sugar over the pastry and we rolled it again. But it tasted all right.
It was delicious.
After a year of coaching, life for Karyn in school, from my point of view, looks far calmer. She's really grown as a child, and those leadership potential characteristics we've seen in her for years and years and years seem to have really come to fruition in a lot of ways.
Miss Darren was getting tired of seeing me. Now that I know how to say no, I told her I'm not going to come to your office anymore, and she said, we'll see about that. And then months after, she said, you really kept your promise, didn't you? She was so proud of me.
The funding for something like TLG early intervention is not something that we could afford. The money that's given to allow that to happen is having a huge impact on the children. They're happier, they feel seen and heard. TLG early intervention is having a huge impact not only on schools but therefore on the local community.
Now I feel positive about my future. TLG coaches has taught me that I can do anything in life and I put my mind to it. You changed my life.
I've loved working with you, know that. And I'm looking forward to hearing how the future goes.
Thank you, TLG.
What joy. I'd like to invite Leanne now to come and share her experiences.
Thank you, Karyn. Hi everybody. First I'd like to thank my mentee and her parents for putting their trust in Transforming Lives for Good and in me, and for allowing me to share some of our story and some of my mentee's work. So the first step, 18 months ago, I was sat right where you guys are now. I remember watching the TLG video and feeling that tug on my heart. I was immediately followed by a wave of what if? What if I'm not cool enough for a 10-year-old? What if they don't want to talk to me? And what if I can't help them? I'm not a teacher. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a mum who's experienced some challenges in life. God calls us to serve, and I had been waiting for him to reveal his plan for me, and right in that moment, I felt that familiar nudge from him. So I took a leap of faith, and right there and then I got up, and I came to the front and I told Karyn I thought this was for me. Funnily enough, a couple of people approached me after the service and said, "That's you, you know." It's not a quick process. You must apply formally. You provide references. You have a criminal record check. And you attend a full training day course. This was conducted online, and it didn't just teach me how to mentor and use the online resources available to plan fun sessions, but it also taught me why children struggle and how to make them feel seen and heard. I was assigned a young person who was due to transition from primary to secondary education. And in the early days, I won't lie to you, week one was nerve-wracking. But I'd done my homework. I downloaded some resources from the online resources that are available from Transforming Lives for Good toolkit, and we set about getting to know one another. We played ball games outside, and we generally had fun. We got creative, and I think there's some pictures of some of the things that we've worked on together. We've completed making our name out of clay. We've done a pineapple piñata, and we've made an affirmation chain, amongst other things. I soon realised I didn't have to be an artist, an expert, or even know the answers. I just had to show up, listen, and get involved for 1 hour every week. Small wins. By week 6, my mentee had begun to open up about friendships that had been challenging, and we dedicated some time to work through the friendship handbook, which I'll have at the front if you want to have a look at. It taught my mentee how to feel confident in who she was and what she believed, to remain calm, and also not to feel responsible for some issues that were going on between other friends. There were times I felt I didn't know how something was going to turn out or what we were going to work on next. But the beauty of the early intervention resources were that they always shone a light on what next steps, and my mentee chose the projects that appealed to her. Simply by showing up and offering choices each week, my mentor began to trust that she was in control of both the journey and the destination. Blessings. After the first half-term break, I appeared outside my mentee's classroom, and as I caught her eye through the glass, I could see her punch the air and say, "Yes!" And I literally had goosebumps to think she was so excited that we were going to have a session that day. At the end of the first school year, which we'd been working together for 3 months by then, we reviewed the changes in my mentee's emotional and behavioural happiness. 3 areas had improved by 2 whole points, so she'd gone from not feeling confident to feeling very confident in areas. 8 areas had improved by 1 point, 18 stayed the same, and only 1 area had gone from I feel a little bit feel okay to I feel a little not so confident. But the biggest surprise was the impact on me. I found myself looking forward to Thursday afternoons more than anything else in my diary. In a world that's so busy, that 1 hour of pure, focused connection was a gift. I've often met with my mentees' parents during the school holidays and keep in regular contact by text and phone. It's great to share with them how much fun we're having in our sessions and what we've been working on. And here I am, 10 months of being a coach. My mentee has settled in really well into secondary school and will be looking to wind up within the next couple of months. I'll be very sad not to be seeing her each week, but I'm sure we'll be keeping in touch via the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you also for sharing your experiences, and special guests here today come to listen to that too. Through partnering with Transforming Lives for Good as a church family, we have been able to support many children and young people since we started in 2017, as well as being alongside their families at a time of crisis and to support our local schools. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. He's on it, isn't he? Thanks, Steve. Good links have been forged with 3 local schools. Here in the high school, St James and Ebrington Primary School. My first placement was at Ebrington, very special place. And St Catherine's Primary School, enabling us to build excellent relationships and support our local community in positive, practical ways. The ripples that go out from simply offering time once a week to the most vulnerable children reaches far wider and deeper than we could imagine, bringing immense blessings for all involved. As coaches, it is a privilege to journey alongside these precious children. Schools are understaffed and underfunded, near breaking point, trying to meet well-being needs and demands. So they hugely value the support we can offer through the Early Intervention Coaching Programme. We are known, trusted, and valued. I have the privilege and blessing as coordinator to be in touch with our school key contacts on a regular basis and hear of the positive impact they are witnessing. There is no doubt the benefits it brings to children and young people. We see their lives being transformed. There is a key difference to the help our coaches can offer that marks this intervention programme as different to others, and that is prayer. Each coach has a prayer partner to share and confide in, to pray together for the mentee and their family, to pray for our schools and those at work there. We are hugely grateful for the wonderful prayer support and encouragement we receive from you, the church family. Prayer is foremost too for the charity itself, with weekly team prayer meetings, an opportunity for all coaches to join these online. Our coaches are prayed over regularly, such a gift and blessing, and makes all the difference. Next slide, thanks, Steve. As coordinator, I see again and again how God has gone before us in each placement, matching the child and coach way beyond anything I could possibly know when sorting. The gifts each coach brings to this outreach is unique, wonderful, and so inspiring. TLG training days, the resources, accessing the online coaching village, videos, and ongoing training resources. The regular forums are all very good and are constantly reviewed to ensure best practice and support the coaches. However, it starts with us, the church family. We have opportunity for at least 6 more coaches. Our school key contacts would welcome us with open arms. I'm always asked, are there any more coaches available? The need is great. I look around this hall today, and any time we're together as church family, and I see such gifts and talents. Our prayers in preparing for this morning is that God is stirring hearts. Please note that we are the equipment needed. It starts with a heart for the struggling children and young people, and a willingness and desire to serve in our community in a practical way. Perhaps some of us started this new year wondering what God has got in store for us in 2026. If you'd like to know more, please come and talk to us afterwards. We're always very, very happy to talk about TLG. We have pamphlets available, examples of the resources, all sorts of things for you to look at. I put up some training dates. These are the dates coming up. If you'd like to know more and thinking, could I, should I, can I, then try the training course, and it will absolutely confirm if your heart has been stirred, this is something for you. Our last slide is actually contact details for Leanne and I. If you'd like to know more, chat to us, or you've been sitting here this morning knowing of somebody in our fellowship thinking, they would be just amazing, please do tell them. We'd love to hear from them. I'd like to invite Kate now for a time of prayer.
Great, I'll get the